Hello everybody and thank you for joining me. This is my work carry. This video is a response to Conan from Conan's Easy Dad Carry, and I'm sorry if you hear dogs drinking, playing, etc. They are just going crazy here. Anyway, Conan mentioned that he has different things that he carries for work than he carries for his regular life, and they're maybe not his favorite things that he would choose, but they are the things that get him through the day. And in a lot of ways, EDC really is at work is where the rubber really meets the road with EDC. And so I've got some stuff that I think is working out really well for me, and I kind of want to talk about that. So first of all, this is a little Coach pouch here. I have my ID badge on the other side in a clear pocket, and then I actually have a pager in here because at my hospital, if you don't have like reliable cell service or whatever, then you can rent a pager from them, and that actually works out really well for me. I keep my pager with me in here. I know that sounds like I'm a drug dealer from the 1990s, but no, that is not the case. It's just so I can go back to work. Inside here, I also keep this. This is not really an endorsement. This is the CRKT KERT. And the reason I carry it is because of this oxygen wrench. I am like obsessed with oxygen wrenches because only like a couple times in my life have I needed an oxygen wrench and not had it. But it was upsetting, and so now I actually carry 2 oxygen wrenches, as you will see. But this lives in this pouch, so if I'm at work, this is going to be there. I'm not going to be lost without an oxygen wrench. Never used this 1/4-inch bit driver. I have used this strap cutter, and it dulled after like cutting 2 straps, which I'm not going to go and sharpen this like after I cut 2 straps. That's dumb. So I've never sharpened it, and I just keep it for this. Okay. Let's move on to, well, okay, this is my watch. I wanted to include it. It's a Seiko SNK series. I completely love it. It is an automatic watch, so that as you move around, it like stores up the energy by turning this weight you can see in the back. I'm kind of moving this around to see if you can see that kind of half moon shaped weight. Then it spins around and winds up the spring. I don't know if you can see that in there. I'm going to try to zoom in. See how you can see the little springs moving in there? Isn't that cool? But that's in the back. The front just looks like this. But I love it. I really love this watch. All right, so that is that. I like it because unlike a watch that you keep charging, which measures your steps and rewards you by like telling you how many steps you made or how much activity you had or what your heart rate was. Oh, Finn. Yeah, hi buddy. This one rewards you for your activity by just keeping the watch powered. And you know, sometimes energy is the greatest resource you can be rewarded with. Here's the Leatherman Raptor Rescue. I did a whole review on this. I do love this product. I actually got it for my ambulance job, but I carry it at my hospital job because it's amazing. It has a ruler, it has a shears, it has a ring cutter, which I've used, and it does work. It has the ability to fold up by pushing these 2 triangular buttons, one on each side. So it's pretty compact. It is fairly heavy. I don't attach it to my scrubs with this clip because it's so heavy that like if you put it in a scrub pocket, it'll just flip around. And like I found it more times than not on the like I'll clip it in the pocket and it'll flip over and be hanging upside down outside the pocket, which is probably a testament to how tight this clip is in here. But probably not what I was going for. There's a strap cutter on here, and the strap cutter can work if the scissors is open like that. It is locking. And there's the oxygen wrench, which would work in this position, although the only time I ever used the oxygen wrench on here, I used it in this position. I think I just grabbed it and stuck it on the oxygen like this, and it was no problem. But I wanted to show you that the strap cutter also works in this position. I never use the strap cutter, so I actually don't know if it would dull quickly as opposed to the CRKT KERT because I just use the shears. The glass breaker is not something I would imagine I would ever use in the hospital at all. Now, if you have a friend or relative who works in a hospital and you think that they would like something like this, you may actually want to consider the Leatherman Raptor Response, which is very similar except no strap cutter and no glass breaker. The oxygen bottle wrench is in the bottom of this handle here, and instead of having like such a big handle, you know, like this is really huge, it's like a regular scissors handle, and the space back here is where the oxygen wrench is. So this is something I really love. But now, the thing that I love the most out of my EDC is the Victorinox Swiss Card Lite. If there are little things, little writing I need to read, I will use this. Oh, you can see my light there. I will use this amazing little magnifying glass. It works wonderfully. I have no problems with it. It has a tweezers, which I have used if I go in the washroom and discover that I have a random chin hair growing. Yes, that's how I feel about it too, dog. It has a it has a pin. This pin I have used once in my entire life. I used it to take a SIM card out of my phone. I have never used it for anything else. I guess I don't really care that it's there because it's not really taking up much space, but still. This pen, you guys, this is going to sound so ridiculous. I've essentially quit carrying a pen because I carry this pen. I know that is dumb, right? But it doesn't really bother me to write with this. I kind of like end up with my finger on top like that when I'm writing, like this. And it works fine. I don't have any problems with using this because I don't write very much. It's not like something you'd want to write a lot with, obviously, but for just a little bit of writing, it's fine. And for not having to buy, lose, and search for pens all the time, because I'm not going to lose this. A, nobody has a pen like this. B, there's a place to put it back right away. I'm not just going to set it down. At least I haven't lost it in all this time. There's something about having this pen that I just don't lose it, and I don't think I'm going to lose it. Now, I know I'll run out of ink eventually, but you know, I think it's a very worthy item to have with me, and it has replaced an entire EDC thing here. There is a ruler, centimeters on that side and inches on that side. Okay, here is a letter opener. I don't think I've actually ever used this for anything. It is not a blade because knives are not allowed at my hospital, but it is listed by Victorinox as a letter opener, so I guess I could use it to open letters. This scissors has gotten a ton of play, and in fact, I used it to cut a whole bunch of little, like we were making these little strips of paper for something. Anyway, I used this to cut a whole bunch of stuff and not go and look for a real scissors. It works fantastically. I mean, this is a really great scissors and gets a ton of use, and it just stays right in there. I'm gonna skip a tool here and move on to this guy. So I did use this once. There was some loose door hardware on one of these like controlled doors, and I used this really, I don't know, I don't really like this flat Phillips, but I did use it to like tighten up the screw that was loose. And it was out quite a ways. Like, it must have been a really long screw because it was out like 3/4 of an inch. And so I had to tighten and tighten and tighten with this tiny little thing. Because, I mean, honestly, mostly I was just happy to have found an opportunity to use this screwdriver, which I really haven't had an opportunity to use otherwise. But, and this is, I think it's actually called the Quattro, and you can buy this independently and then put a lanyard through it. And I know that there are some places on Etsy or maybe eBay that sell them like that. Maybe even Victorinox, I don't know. And now finally, the thing that you would think would not be useful. So here we have a light. And this little flashlight seems like it's nothing, but when the lights are down, it is something. And it is just bright enough to be able to see what you want. You turn it on by sliding forwards, you turn it off by sliding back. And on this, which is, I think, a really nice thing. There we go. Slide it back and it opens up, and then it actually comes out all the way. That's how you would change the batteries. And then it does just slide back in. I've had no problems with this Swiss card at all. Oh, I should say, unlike the lights that are not like the Swiss Card Lite, which is what this is, but the like Huntsman light or any of the actual knives that are light, you can't turn this on by pushing. You have to slide it forward and then it locks into place. Anyhow, this Swiss Card Lite is fantastic. It does so much for me. Having this magnifying glass means that I do not really need to carry glasses with me all the time, because if there's something little I need to read, I can see it right there. This pen has really revolutionized things for me. Having this little scissors is awesome. And honestly, there are plenty of days when I don't carry this scissors, literally, and it's okay because I have this scissors. Like, this is obviously much bigger and useful for lots of stuff, but I have used this scissors to get through so many different things. It is insane. So this is really the key to my at-work EDC. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this, and I would love to see other people's videos about their at-work EDC. Thanks, Conan. This was a great idea.